While you were watching something else, JP put this out there into the X-verse, and it's intriguing. The Red Sox and Cardinals have had recent communication about Nolan Arenado, source says. If trade talks move forward, they could have implications for Alex Bregman's market. Of note, Cardinals exec Chaim Bloom has close knowledge of Boston's prospects. This is for certain because he likely drafted many of those prospects. Let's talk about this. We thought that if there was a deal involving Nolan Arenado, it would have happened by now because the Cardinals put it out there that they were looking to move him. We learned of the list of teams that Nolan would approve a trade to shortly thereafter, yet there's been a stalemate. Do you think this circling back with the Red Sox is real, or is this just smoke?
No doubt.
You say
it's real.
Okay.
And I think it's real because it's a team Nolan would go to. And they're at a standstill with the Cardinals. You got to bring him back to camp, and him and John Mozeliak have to look at each other and figure it out. So, yeah, I think it's real. The Cardinals don't want to bring him back to camp. What are you going to do with Nolan Gorman, who has to play? And you basically have soured the waters with this relationship. Mm-hmm. You got to move him. And the Red Sox are a club that he would move to.
Well, the productivity in terms of power came down last year. Nobody's doubting that this is still an elite player, let alone third baseman. How would it look with Nolan Arenado at Fenway? Well, it would necessitate a move with somebody because this is the lineup as it stands without Nolan in it. Rafi Devers would likely move somewhere, first base. Tristan Casas would move somewhere, DH. I think it would evolve lineup to lineup, day to day, series to series. It would give Alex Cora a big new weapon, and it's really something to dream on if you're a Boston Red Sox fan. That guy, that bat, with that left field wall, pretty fun stuff to think about.
The Cardinals' first baseman has gone to New York, Goldschmidt. Casas was drafted by Bloom. All right, he knows him. That's one of his guys. So you got to have first baseman. If Nolan goes there, they want to move Devers to first. You got $300 million invested in a guy you know is not going to play third forever.
Right.
So it makes sense. So it's a matter of them figuring it all out. The one thing, when you start hearing players say, I'll move to first base to get out of here. That's what he said about going to San Diego. Yeah. Let me out. I'll play first base. Yeah. I know they got Manny. I'll move to first. A Hall of Fame worthy Gold Glove third baseman saying, I'll move to first.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
I really thought that if there was a trade for Arenado, it would be to one of the three Southern California teams, being a SoCal native and knowing where he'd like to play. But this makes a lot of sense, too. And I agree with you completely. You can't open camp with him there. You make a move. I mean, neither party seems satisfied with the relationship at this point. So we'll see how that plays out.
Fenway Park is perfect for him.
Yeah.
He'll be hooking balls off that monster all day long.
40 to 50 doubles easy in that ballpark.
Yeah.
So the other part of JP's X message had to do with what this would do in terms of impacting the Alex Bregman discussions, which are on.
Fire blockbuster trade. Dodgers could land Nolan Arenado in bold three-player deal. Police car like Dodgers fans, hold onto your hats because we have a major trade rumor on the table. Police car light. After an already wild offseason, the Dodgers might not be done making moves. And now, the biggest name still on the trade market could be heading to Los Angeles. That's right, we're talking about Nolan Arenado. The 10-time Gold Glover and 8-time All-Star has been looking for a new home, and reports say the Dodgers are one of his preferred destinations. But here's the real question. Is this a trade the Dodgers should make? With Arenado coming off one of his worst seasons, is he still worth the price tag? And what would the Dodgers have to give up to make it happen? We're breaking it all down, the proposed deal, how Arenado would fit in LA, and whether this blockbuster move makes sense for the Dodgers. Baseball, but before we get into it, if you're a true Dodgers fan, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring you the latest news and updates, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Turn on notifications so you never miss a breaking story. Alright, let's talk about this massive trade rumor. Fire the trade rumors. What's on the table? So, here's the latest buzz. According to Jim Riley of Ballcap Sports, a potential trade scenario could send Nolan Arenado and $8.5 million in cash considerations to the Dodgers, while Tony Gonsolin and Chris Taylor would head to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, let's break this down. Nolan Arenado, 33 years old, is still one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball, but he's coming off his worst defensive season since his rookie year in 2013. Tony Gonsolin, who hasn't pitched since mid-2023, would be included in the trade, along with utility player Chris Taylor, who's owed $13 million this year. The Cardinals would also send $8.5 million to help offset Arenado's contract, which has $64 million remaining over the next 3 years. But here's where things get interesting. If Arenado comes to LA, the Dodgers would need to move Max Muncy to second base, which could push new signing Hye-Sung Kim into a utility role instead of everyday playing time. So the real question is, does adding Arenado actually improve the Dodgers, or would they be better off keeping their depth? Baseball, is Arenado still a game changer? Let's talk about Nolan Arenado's current value. On one hand, he's one of the best defensive third basemen of all time. His 10 gold gloves prove that. Even at 33, his glove is still elite, and pairing him with Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani, that's a scary infield. But there's the offensive decline. In 2024, Arenado finished with a .719 OPS and a 101 OPS plus. Essentially, he was a league average hitter. That's a huge drop from the Arenado we saw in Colorado and even in his first few years in St. Louis. So, here's the dilemma. Are the Dodgers getting a declining veteran who's no longer an elite hitter? Or is this just a down year and a fresh start in LA could help him bounce back? And more importantly, is he worth losing Chris Taylor and Tony Gonsolin? Counterclockwise arrows button, what would the Dodgers give up? If this trade goes through, Los Angeles will be giving up orange circle Chris Taylor, a versatile player who can play outfield, infield, and shortstop. He's due $13 million this year, and with the Dodgers' stacked roster, his playing time is uncertain. Orange circle Tony Gonsolin, a solid starting pitcher, but he hasn't pitched since 2023 due to injury. His future in LA is already in question, and the Dodgers might not miss him much. So, is this a fair deal? From a Dodgers perspective, they're essentially giving up a depth piece, Taylor, and a pitcher with question marks, Gonsolin, for a future Hall of Famer at third base. But from a Cardinals perspective, would they rather hold on to Arenado or try to get more value in return? Baseball, how does Arenado fit in LA? Let's say this trade actually happens. What would the Dodgers lineup look like? Here's a possible infield. 1B, Freddie Freeman. 2B, Max Muncy. SS, Mookie Betts. 3B, Nolan Arenado. Udall, Hye-Sung Kim. That's an incredible defensive unit, but it also means Kim's role changes. Would the Dodgers be okay with reducing his playing time after investing in him this offseason? And don't forget, the Dodgers have already spent big this winter. Would they want to take on even more money for an aging player? There are a lot of moving pieces here, which makes this trade even more complicated. Fire final thoughts, should the Dodgers make this move? All right, Dodgers fans, now it's your turn. Police car light, should the Dodgers trade for Nolan Arenado? Police car light, or should they keep Chris Taylor and Tony Gonsolin instead? Would Arenado's defense and veteran presence make this team even stronger, or is his decline at the plate too much of a risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to white heavy checkmark like this video. White heavy checkmark subscribe to the channel. White heavy checkmark turn on notifications so you never miss a Dodgers update. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Dodgers! Blue Circle Baseball.